Hey everybody, it's Harry from Slap Your Daddy Barbecue, the YouTube channel that teaches you how to master barbecue so you can spread barbecue love. I've been asked a lot of times what I do with the excess raw meat that I trim for ribs and all the different cooks I have. In this episode, I'm going to show you how I repurpose pork ribs to make a dish from the pieces left over after trimming ribs for barbecue. We're going to do for you a little pork ribs in coconut milk, one of my favorite ways to prepare pork ribs. We're going to show you guys how we smoke in the pit, create a marinade and sauce, and serve it with some steamed rice at the end. For the pork ribs in coconut milk is a few aromatics and some sauces. We're going to put in a quarter cup of soy sauce, a quarter cup of sweet soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, quarter cup of white vinegar, 1 tablespoon of any kind of barbecue rub that you like, half a chopped onion, 2 tablespoons of ginger chopped, and a whole bunch of garlic, as much as you want. And a quarter cup of water. All right, and leave it in the refrigerator overnight to marinate. We're transferring our pork ribs into a pan. We're gonna leave some of the ribs above the liquid level so we can get a nice smoke. And then we'll rotate it so that all the different pieces will be able to get a nice smoke on them. All right, let's put it into the pit. Okay, we want to give the ribs a little bit of a stir, and you can see that there are parts that are nicely smoked. We want to flip it over, get some of the ribs that are in the liquid out of the liquid so they can get some smoke. Trade places with the ones that are already smoked. Get some of that in the liquid. You're going to continue this process to get color on these ribs by rotating it out of the liquid, placing it on top. Get some color. And all the pieces will have a nice kissed by smoke flavor. Like this side here is nice and done. This side is not. So we want to flip it around. Dip the side with the bark back in the liquid. Flip it over and get some nice char with it. After 5 hours in the pit to get the smoke into the ribs, we put it in the oven for about another hour, and it reaches a point where it's nice and tender. You can feel it. It's nice and probe tender. Let's go ahead and take it out now, and let's finish up the sauce with a little bit of coconut cream. All right, let's taste and adjust final seasonings. Wow, that's really good. There's a nice amount of creaminess to it. The sauce is perfect. Just gonna add a touch of honey. Just to give it a nice rounded sweetness. Not too much, just maybe about 1 teaspoon. I've cooked some Kabocha squash here in a little bit of vegetable stock. I like to put a little bit of kombucha into my coconut ribs here. I usually use the rest of the kombucha to make like a squash soup, but this addition really works really well with pork ribs. This dish is best refrigerated first overnight so that it has a chance to combine the flavors. Here's the sauce that we just use a propeller blender to puree. All right, there you have it. And I usually like to let this sit and refrigerate and enjoy the next day with some steamed rice. Alright, our coconut milk ribs are ready. I have a little bit of Kabocha squash I added for, you gotta eat your veg. Let's give it a taste test here. A piece of the pork. Alright, absolutely tender. It's got that marinade that we put it in overnight. So I'm tasting the soy. I taste the garlic. A little bit of smoke. So just a great little bite of little pork rib heaven here. I think the coconut milk really kind of emulsifies, brings home all of the flavors. And the sauce is really fantastic. I'm gonna eat it with a little bit of rice now. Try the rice here. Rice and sauce. Can't go wrong with that. A little bit of sesame seed garnish. So, the taste test. Yep, fantastic flavor with the rice. Man, I need more rice. There's a lot of meat here, but the rice goes really well. So I hope you guys like this dish here. Super easy to make with your trimmings from any kind of pork ribs that you leave behind. You just throw this in a pit. You cook it when you're cooking your ribs. So by the time your ribs are ready, this one is ready to be put in the pan. You can leave it in the oven, let it get nice and tender at the same time as your ribs. So during your rib cook, you can actually do two kinds of cooks. You can cook your barbecue ribs, and you can make your beef ribs in coconut milk sauce here. All right, made a little portion for beans, a little bit of Kabocha squash, and some pork together with some rice. All right, beans, this is not brisket, but let's give it a shot here. Chowing down the pork. A little bit of Kabocha squash. I wonder if you eat the rice. Oh, you eat the rice? You like rice, Beans? Alright guys, well, Beans is finishing his snack. Thanks for stopping by. Shout out to my Patreons for helping me keep the lights on my channel. If you like this video, please leave me a comment and do a like on it. So until the next video, Beans and I will see ya.